So, when it comes to making sure that your shop is fully equipped with all the latest and greatest when it comes to accessories, Excel Electronics is your partner of choice. Why? Because Excel Electronics has been in this game forever and they probably have one of the widest range of selection available. Today, we're going to dive into a couple of the latest and coolest add ons to the accessory category as we have our guest, Christian Way, joining us to walk us all through it. This is CMA Connected, brought to you by SiriusXM, all about Excel Electronics. And it starts now. What's going on, guys, and welcome to another CMA Connected, brought to you by SiriusXM. I'm your host, Ben Wu, and you are tuned in to CMA Networks, where we talk mobile electronics day in and day out. We're talking accessories this week, and of course, we're talking about Excel Electronics, a leader in this category with an amazing catalog. We've got our guest and product specialist, Christian Way, joining us. Christian, can you give us a quick breakdown of what we're going to be talking about on today's show?
Hey, Ben. Yeah, I'm excited. We're going to talk today about our new heads-up display for Tesla. We're going to talk about a new stainless steel camera we have. We're going to talk about our RSR10 wireless remote switch. And of course, we're going to talk about displays.
All right, Chris, sounds like some cool new goodies that we definitely want to learn more about. But first, an opportunity for our partner, SiriusXM, to remind you why it's always a great add-on sale. And when we come back, let's get into some cool accessories with Excel. We'll be right back.
Hey, Paul here with SiriusXM, and I'd like to talk to you about attachment selling and why the SiriusXM product is one of the best things to add, especially since we don't trade dollars with any other category. I could go through all of this, but let's hear what some of our dealers have to say.
It's an easy add-on that takes, 10, 15 minutes if we're running an antenna, 1 minute if we've got an adapter to plug it into the factory SiriusXM antenna, and it's extra money, so no-brainer.
I present it to every customer because a lot of customers don't know what all they can do with Sirius. They don't know what all content they could have. It just makes too much sense not to sell it.
It creates a different customer loyalty and customer security when you explain to them why it's a better experience. Just gets them back in the door. And then the next car, they're already asking for it again. So it just keeps selling itself. It makes more sense.
Well, there you have it. You heard from our dealers. Just remember some of the best practices. Make sure you have one on display so you can demo it. Make sure you're taking advantage of our rewards program, because if you're not taking advantage of that, you're leaving even more money on the table. Make sure you got our POP up on display. And other than that, just make sure you're recommending it.
And welcome back to the show, and welcome to our good friend, Christian. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good, man. How are you doing?
It's always fun to have you on, man. Like, you know why? I'll tell you why. Because we get to talk about things that I don't always get a chance to talk about, right? Like, I'm always talking speakers and subs and amps and remote start. But when you come on, it's always a unique experience because you're going to cover things that nobody else is talking about. And I guess that's kind of the Excel way, isn't it?
Kind of. We try and find the niches where no one's at. I mean, that's always the best way. Less competition is better, if you're the person producing the product.
Well,
but we try and stay out of saturated areas.
I don't want to discount the fact that, yes, of course, you have some unique product, but you're really good at what you guys do. You guys have your ear to the ground. You're listening to what dealers are looking for, and you're coming up with solutions. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah, I mean, that all stems from, I sound like a broken record, man. I just tell people about the product, but we're fortunate to have an owner who's an engineer. He's just real enthusiastic, and he runs a team of engineers that are just constantly, they're fanatics. They're constantly reaching out, again, as you said, like ear to the ground, looking for what people's needs. They're always looking for solutions, and they do a great job at it.
Well, I can guarantee you guys tuning in, the 4 items that we're going to be talking about today are just literally a teaser into the massive catalog that is Excel. However, these are all very unique and things that you want to know about because they're new. They answer a need, right? A demand, and they all do very specific things. So let's start with the one I think is pretty cool because we all know that EV is kind of like the new thing, right? There's a lot of Teslas on the market. Whether we like that or not, that's irrelevant because the people coming into your store, a lot of them own Teslas. So of course, you already are thinking, the Tesla car audio systems and power systems, but what about a heads-up display? Because I sound silly here because not everybody maybe has been in a Tesla, but there's nothing in front of you. Like the screen is offset. There is nothing to look at. Am I right?
You're right. I live in California, so I do drive a Model 3. Only because you don't want to pay $6 for gas, right? So Canada, probably just as bad. But for the US, that's really bad. So, yeah. But the one thing you notice when you first get in a Tesla is there's no instrumentation. You have one panel on the right, and that's what you have. And it was a pretty big learning curve to keep glancing over to the right, where you're just so accustomed, from 16 years on, you're so accustomed to just staring right through the steering wheel and looking at your speed and everything else you need. And so it's really difficult, and you kind of take your eyes off the road. And I think in the beginning stages, it's distracting.
It's
So
not natural. Can I say that? I mean, it
it's
doesn't feel
definitely not
natural. Your eyes are
natural.
looking this way,
Yeah,
right? And then you have
yeah.
to look here and then come back here.
I mean,
right?
not only have you created that habit, right, for all those years, it's probably not that safe, right? You just want to focus forward. So we looked at a bunch of applications, but also the vents in the Tesla, the Model 3 and the Y, they run along the dash in the top, right? So we looked at some larger HUD, heads-up displays that would give you, more info, almost duplicating what is over there, but it completely blocks the airflow. And if anyone has been in a Tesla, I mean, it's kind of a hot box. First, the whole roof is glass, so the sun's blaring through, and you got a whole bunch of, burning hot batteries below you. So it's like a little furnace if you don't cover that. You're working your AC, which drops your battery. So you need the AC. That's all I'm saying. In a Tesla, you need the airflow. So you put some of those those heads-up displays up there, and it just blocks all the airflow to the driver.
Right.
It's the person who needs it the most. So, yeah, we went out and designed a smaller piece, and then designed a smaller bracket that it's like a wedge mount. So it goes up and down, and that's all that is holding it. And then you wedge it into the actual air vent. It just stands up just above the air vent, but it's not blocking any airflow.
Okay.
It's positioned perfect, so you get to.
So it's not obstructive. You've taken advantage of the environment and figured out how to put a display that's small footprint, small form factor, but still gets you the information that you would need.
Information you need. You're getting vehicle speed, you're getting turn signals, you're getting gear settings, you're getting battery level, if your door's ajar, seatbelt alert, just the minor things you need. Obviously the speed and your position, your drive position is
okay.
Really
so to give people a visual, let's go ahead and take a look at this unit, and then I have some questions for you.
Sure.
All right, so we pulled up onto the website. Now I have a question out of the gate. I noticed this is not the ACCELE website. What is this Orbit EV thing we're looking at?
Yeah, so Orbit is our new EV brand. We'll be offering a lot of different products on it. Obviously not just Tesla, but the entire, EV accessories. It's a different world. And again, I think as that the technology self-driving becomes more prevalent, I think you're going to see a lot more activity from us on product production.
Okay. All right. But it's still available for those that are used to going to accele.com, correct?
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right.
Just a reference check over there. Most of these products can be available on the other side.
Perfect. All right. Let's get into it. Here's what I want to know. So first, you guys can see it's very low profile. It's very slim. It's very slick looking, very modern, and it really blends into the dash really well. Here's another take at that. I mean, it's pretty small, really. It's not obtrusive whatsoever.
At all. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What gives you the info you need.
And check a look at that. So there you go. It's right there. You can see it. Now, if you guys are wondering, I'm sure you're wondering, how does this install? Well, lucky for you, Christian took care of that. All you need to do, head over to cmanetworks.com. We made a workshop video on how this installs, and this is what I want to bring up. All right. So the big thing for me, Chris, is how simple this is to install. Like, you were getting a lot of, vehicle information. So immediately I thought they must be interfacing the CAN bus or the information system on the Tesla. What they've done, and you can walk me through this real quick because there's a video on it, like I said. But this is a T harness that literally plugs into the system, correct?
Yeah. Right in the back on the Model 3s and the Model Ys, you have the OBD plug, right, in the back of the armrest in the center. So it's a real simple installation. Like you said, we'll reference that video. You can see you're just gonna drop it in the vent, run it through the air vent, down the kick panel, down by the door, under the carpet, up into the center console, and that's an easy T harness plug and play. And you're going to get power. You're going to get all your info right out of that. So there's no searching for, additional fuses you can tap into or searching for the other battery. None of that. Plug and play.
All right. Very, very cool. So that was the new Tesla heads-up display, small footprint. It's called the HUD 200T. All right, next up, switching gears. We're going to go away from Tesla. We're going to get into the commercial heavy-duty side. ACCELE for years and years have been very known for the different camera products that you had. I mean, on this show alone, we've covered I don't know how many different versions of this. However, there's always been a problem. You know what that problem is? Folks like me who live up north, we deal with things like snow, things like intermittent weather. And some of these cameras, maybe some of yours, I don't know, but weren't exactly built to last, right, in these type of scenarios. So what ACCELE is introducing is what we're calling the RVC SS400 heavy duty camera. And check this out, guys. Stainless steel construction. Chris, I know you have one. Why don't you talk to us real quick about it?
I do. This is like dynamite. I mean, it is, you know, the better of 3 pounds, probably 4 pounds. Full stainless steel, 1080p cam, rugged construction, obviously ready for commercial grade. Built-in IR transmitters. It's a dynamite cam. We're just giving you a basically non-destructible camera without taking any away of the quality. So I know in the Northeast you have your sleet, snow, salt, all those elements that can hit you up there. I was raised up there, so I know them pretty well. And we get a lot of calls from people who are just saying, okay, you know, it's a great cam, but over time, I'm like, I know, we're working on it. Well, we finally finished it. Here she is.
I want to jump in here, Christian. Like I just put up the images here from the website. I mean, take a look at the construct. This is like the Hulk of all cameras that I've ever seen ever before. This thing literally is built like a tank. Take a look at these pictures. Look at the back. I mean, it is. I'm going to guess even the bracket is stainless steel and the hardware as well. Correct?
Everything is stainless steel, right? And so, I mean, we've already moved this into some OE applications, meaning we're selling directly to OEs on adventure van builders, you name it. But if you go all the way over to, you know, whether it's like, you know, dump trucks or RVs or, you know, any kind of city commercial trucks that are out there every single day, snow plows, perfect, right? Yeah, it's just it's a camera that's needed. And I think people have been wanting this to come, and just took a while for us to get our engineers to design it right.
Quick question for you. I mean, it's obvious that it is overbuilt. It's obvious that it's all made of stainless. It's gonna last. Let's talk about performance. Are there any sacrifices here as far as performance goes?
No, I mean we kept everything there. It's full 1080p. You have IR. I mean the lens, the lux rating. It's got everything. You're not losing any quality. In fact, you know, we've pretty much increased most of it. So it's not an inexpensive cam. So, you know, we wanted to make sure that it had everything people expected for the price they're going to pay for it.
All right, guys. So we've already showed you 2 pretty cool products. You know, the first heads-up display for Tesla. Now we just talked about a tank of a camera that's fully built in stainless, will never rust, which is awesome. We're going to shift gears again. We're going to something completely different. Of course, ACCELE's been super known for all your switches and relays. Well, here's a combination, guys. Listen to this one. Imagine you had a wireless button switch that could control a relay wirelessly. What we're talking about is a new product called the RSR10. Chris, tell us all about it.
Oh, man. We did a blast. We launched it about a month ago. We did a blast on it, just an email blast introduction, and it went off the shelf like that. You know, there's just a lot of times where people don't want to drill, people don't want to run wires, you know, whether it's going to be for, you know, fog lights or for different applications in the car. And so what we want to do is create a wireless button, right? And that's that right here. So you can double stick this anywhere you want in the car, or just have it in the center console, wherever you want. So here's the switch. Obviously, we just show you the wire. You have power, ground, and then you have normally open, normally closed. They're your wires, but again, it's just a regular switch. You can program it for on, off, or momentary, and it's just a universal switch for a ton of different applications. And again, the beauty of this is you can have this up by, you know, by the module or whatever you're switching, whether it be lights, whether it be any other accessory you want to control. And then this guy, you don't actually have to drill any more holes anymore. It's just it's got a nice long long life battery in it, and you can put it wherever you want.
Chris, I gotta say, for somebody who loves buttons, because everybody tells me, Ben, you love buttons too much. This is a great solution, because how many times are you in a situation you're like, oh man, I wish I had a button here, but then you think about, oh my God, what does it take to wire that, right? And then you abandon the project. This comes to the rescue, because even if I have a spot, I can actually put it where I want because of my accessibility, right? And not have to think about how I'm going to get the wires there. So talk about applications a little bit. I mean, it must be endless.
Yeah, it's funny you talk about buttons, because Tesla owners, there's nothing on the dash. There's no buttons. They don't want buttons, so you can put this up behind the screen. I mean, there's so many different applications and places, but it's just not where, you can position this wherever you want. But it's also just, what it can do. You can do ignition kill systems with it, lighting, horns. I mean, it's unlimited, the amount of things you can do with it.
All right, cool. So that's 3 items. We got 1 more to go, and this is going to be more for you dealers out there. And I'm going to repeat. I know what Chris is going to say, but I want to put my take on this. Guys, if you want to sell accessories, especially the kind of accessories that ACCELE offers, you need to have some type of way to keep it in front of the customer's face. A lot of the times, these type of important accessories exist, but the customers aren't, in the mindset to ask for them, right? Do you understand what I mean? So what better way to communicate that you as a shop are a specialist, that you know that what the latest technologies are and the latest accessories that are available, than by showing them like on a countertop display, for example. Now, Chris, we've talked about it before, but this is a message that we want to repeat. You have a countertop display there. I'm going to let you go. Show them what it's all about and why this is so important.
You made a good point, though, really quick, on that the customer is not always in the mindset, but you got to focus on your salespeople too. Your salespeople aren't always in the mindset to upsell. They're like, someone comes in for, a deck and 2, and they're just ready to roll. They just want to get the sale.
Like, I did my job. I'm done.
They're like, okay, great. We closed this guy. I'm like, no, you didn't. There's so many other things you can offer. And you can't pitch everything you have in the store. From people are selling LED lighting, HID lights, to there's so many accessories, to wraps. Everyone's so diversified today, and you have to be. But you got to have displays out in the store, and this one is the one you got to have. Again, for every stereo install, you got to have this guy up there. We have our top selling 8 items up here. We have our USB charger. That has USB-C, USB. We have a 65 watt charger in the center there. Again, that one's awesome. You can actually charge your laptop with it. And then you have all the extensions. So when you go to sell something, and you go sell it, most of the car stereos have some kind of HDMI or USB or inputs in the back. This is a great way to do it. It's an easy transition. You walk them over to the display after they've already sold it to them. You say, hey, listen, did you know that this has an HDMI input in the back? Did you know that this has a USB input in the back? And you walk over to the display, how do you want access to it? That's your sales pitch, right? But you got to have those things. You got to have the reminders in the store, not just for the customers for the things that they can add on, but you got to have them for the salespeople. And if they're not available, then you got to let the display speak for themselves, right? And then drive the customers to ask those questions that we were talking about. It's a must-have. And we focus on that stuff so hard, because it's not about, we have all great engineers here. We can create all the products in the world, but we have to rely on you guys to sell them, right? So we want to make sure that we're giving you the tools to be successful.
And that was our special guest, Christian Way, Vice President of ACCELE Electronics, joining us today. Thank you for taking the time, Chris. Now, if you want more information on any of the products, and really take some time here because there's a lot of them, explore their website located at accele.com. We'll put the link here on the screen. Now, here's my takeaway. First of all, it's always fun to have Chris and ACCELE on the show because they're always bringing new ideas, new gizmos, new gadgets, new solutions, new technologies. This is the accessories category. Everybody knows it's about the upsell. I think Chris did a great job by kind of summing up everything that has to do with the accessory category with those displays. Guys, we know we love writing the big orders, the big sound systems, the big lighting systems, but upselling little accessories like that, not only does it improve margins and profitability, but it also makes customers happier. Why? Because 9 times out of 10, you're going to bring up one of these accessories that they need, but they weren't thinking about or they weren't aware of. It's your job to do so. So with the help of a display like that, it keeps it front of mind. It keeps it visual. It's right there at the stage of interaction, right at the counter. Easy peasy. And that's it. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of CMA Connected, brought to you by SiriusXM. I'm your host, Ben Wu. Until next time, we connect.